Welcome back to Tyres Braaiers, South Africa. I'm Hezron Louw.
I'm Nik Rabinowitz, and today we go big, guys. We go international. No more carring and charring. Today it's feu et foie gras, barbecue et brioche, voiture et vol-à-vol.
What are you on about?
We're in Paris, France.
No, Parys, Free State.
Really?
Don't be disappointed. Our driver has a French name, Pierre.
Yeah.
And he'll be taking us around Parys, showing us beautiful sights in his Austin 7.
That's right. We'll be going to the fishing shop.
And then we're going to the Vredefort Dome,
What kind of dome is that?
the largest meteorite impact site in the world.
Oh my word. And then after surviving some rapids here on the Vaal River, we'll be braaiing with the Sunwa River rafters. What's on the menu?
Skilpad and a sheep's tail.
Are you serious? We're actually going to braai a tortoise.
Yes, we are.
That sounds wrong. How do you braai a tortoise anyway?
Slowly, really slowly.
We're going to get complaints.
My name is Pierre Bologna. We're about infamous in Parys because everybody knows us by this time because of the car. My dad bought in 1970s, he bought 2 racks and he started making of the 2 racks, he made 1 car. It took him 15 years. For 2 racks he paid 50 rand those days. It took him about 500 rands to get it up to what it's now. They gave the car to me on my 50th birthday. I'm 77 at the moment, I'm still going strong. The car is female. She's very fickle sometimes. In this car I must upkeep her, I must clean her and grease her and oil her. You must just have a correct starter, correct mixture on the fuel, correct setting of your timing, and you must make sure it's out of gear, otherwise she runs over you. The Austin comes from the name of Sir Herbert Austin. This one is called the Austin 7. 7 is a 7 horsepower engine. The engine is only 747 cc.
Hello, Pierre.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you
Bonjour,
doing?
bonjour. Ça va, ça va?
Non parlez-vous français?
Nik
no, pas
Parys.
français.
Parys.
Not
Parys.
Paris.
Hello, lovely, beautiful. This is the old dame of Parys.
Grand old dame of Parys, Austin 7.
She's fantastic.
Stunning,
Yeah.
stunning.
Stunning.
Can we go for a spin?
Yes,
Will you start off for us?
I'll start it for you.
We're going to
By
do the
crank.
crank,
By
the crank shot.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Let's
right.
see.
Here we
Let's see.
go.
We've been hearing about this.
I love the color, eh? It's
It's
yellow.
it's Austin yellow.
Austin yellow.
First of all, you check if it's out of gear. Check if the handbrake is on. Check that the choke is about there. This is the retard. Advance on the retard. It advances the firing order. I put it there so it's the slow, so it don't kick my hand off.
So it's
this is a
retarded.
hand throttle. It's retarded. Yeah, little hand throttle. It works in conjunction with the foot throttle. And this is the ignition. I put it on. And then you say, all right, old lady of Parys, now we're going to kick some fire into you.
The grand old dame.
The grand old dame of Parys. The crank, you must push it in and it catches on there, on the hooks. And when you
Here we
turn
go,
it,
here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh!
Woo! How do we get it?
I think this is how we
Yeah,
get in.
smoke small, you open the door, lift the seat.
Woo!
Great, yes.
Oh, it's so
Everybody
beautiful.
in.
I feel like
Romantic.
we're off to our wedding or something. Well, the Austin is a very small car.
I first saw the car. I thought to myself, there's no way myself and Nick are going to fit in the back of this.
Oh, Champs-Élysées, ba-da-ba-da-ba. Oh, Champs-Élysées.
Like I said,
Yes.
Parys,
Parys.
not France.
Okay. What is that?
That's now the first gear, the second gear. The gears are changed over like not like other cars.
I think he uses it to keep him young, by the way. It's his exercise. He tells his wife, I'm going out to exercise, then he cranks the car. Have you caught anything yet?
Not yet. Nothing so far.
What is that interesting spring device you've got on the end there?
It's a self-striker. The moment when the fishes bite, it strikes self. And the bell is ringing then.
The bell.
Yeah,
It catches its own fish.
And then ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
that's correct, yeah.
What's the biggest fish you've caught?
Here in the river is 12 kilos.
How big? How
Well,
big?
about this size, yeah.
That size.
That's right.
Good luck with your fishing here today.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Stay Velena. The Austin, what a fascinating car. Invented by the British, they created the first Austin. And many people don't know, the Japanese, when they created the first Nissan, they copied the Austin.
It's got a really small engine. It puts out 7 horsepower. I'm sure there are lawnmowers out there with more powerful engines. So we were basically riding around in a lawnmower the whole day. That is so cool. The car is well preserved, it's neat, it's tidy. You get a sense of ooh la la when you see it. You just can't help but say, nice car, lekker villa, welkom in Parys.
There was just enough spares for one. He had to import some spares from England. And the pistons and conrods he luckily could get still in Bloemfontein. So he redid the whole engine. See how silently she runs now. That whining noise is a gearbox. It's got straight cut gears that makes a noise. It hasn't got synchro mesh, so you must double clutch.
Oh.
You'll see every time I change gears, I double clutch. Yeah.
Have you ever got a speeding ticket?
No, luckily not. She's not fast enough for a speeding. You could have got a ticket for going too slow.
Pierre Bologna is an amazing gentleman. He has a passion for old cars, he has a passion for fixing engines, he tells great jokes. But he's a great driver, his car goes at 60 k's per hour. He has extreme patience. He's just so calm, so chilled. There are only 2 sets of robots in Parys. Yes, that's right, 2 sets of traffic lights in Parys. We drove down, I think, the main road, which also seemed like the only road. The beautiful antique shops. It's one of those places where you sort of go to retire, you know? Apparently, Parys is a fish-crazy town. Everybody here fish. And we went to the fishing shop to see where all these people who fish buy the equipment to fish. How's it?
And yeah,
How you doing?
good stuff. Good
Hello,
stuff.
hello there. Are you Rudy?
Yes, I'm ready.
This is Rudy. I'm Hezron.
I'm Nik.
This is Nik. And we're here to find out about floaties, bombs, miligooi,
Popcorn.
papgooi.
There was all sorts of bait.
They've got millipitter, millibombs, floaties, soft floaties, bleeding floaties. It's like an arsenal to just get these fish in.
They'll do anything to catch a fish in these parts. Anything to catch a carp.
You know, they got dyes. It also comes in different flavors. You can get kiwi millibomb,
Passion fruit bait, on bait,
chili millibomb, garlic millibomb, white chocolate millibomb.
whatever bait you could think of was there.
And apparently the fish are into tutti frutti millibomb as well. How do these fishermen know what the fish want to chow?
And you know about this stuff because you're like a springbok fisherman, right?
Yeah.
A carp is basically a very common, it's like a koi that lives in a caravan park.
There were pictures of fish up on the wall. There were people catching fish up on the wall. There was lures. And what is a policeman? Because I hear policemen are involved in fishing, like syndicate fishing. with
Yeah, it's
policemen.
not a speed cop. There's some policemen here.
Are these South African SAP policemen?
You can't bribe it, eh? No.
I see you've got all those rifles over there.
No, that's only
Is that for shooting
for
fish?
target shooting.
Fish target shooting.
No, not fish.
Which I learned for shooting fish in a barrel. Literally, you just bang. It's a lot easier than actually fishing, which is what we saw Lucas. He was fishing with his 6 rods on the banks of the Vaal River with his self-striking rods and his ding-a-ling-a-ling. Hez,
So when
I
you-
think you and I should go and fish later.
Yeah? I've never fished before.
I think this is
I've
a,
never caught anything.
What about
That's a
this?
nice
Is a
rod.
nice rod
That's
for
a
you.
nice fishing rod for you.
Myself and Nick bought a rod so that we can try fishing. I hope it's the right size.
The town is very quaint and there's lots of, you know, they farm tourists and curios. That's the main farming activity here. So you don't have indicators. There are actually gloves in the glove compartment. You don't often see that.
You don't see that.
Gloves in the glove compartment. You know, I've only been to Parys like twice, and the first time was 1981 for the cherry picking conference. And then the second time was about 3 years ago when I was arrested for speeding between here and OR Tambo. And it was a very traumatic experience for me. They caught me and they said, "Sir, you were doing 170 and a 120. I said, "Officer, would you like a cool drink?" He said, "No, I'm not thirsty." And then he said, "You're under arrest. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. You have the right to remain silent." That was my last experience of Parys. And I feel like this has wiped out all of the bad memories. I was taken to jail here just outside Parys.
We drove out of Parys and into the dome. Now this was awesome because we were driving in an old car to see an ancient site. This is the best aircon ever.
So I knew nothing about this dome. They said we're going to go and visit the Vredefort dome. I was thinking, what is this dome that they talk of? I had no idea this was the biggest crater impact zone, at least visible on Earth, because there's one other one that's under the sea.
We met Christo, who then showed us how the ring actually looks.
But you can actually see where this meteorite landed.
Okay guys, here we arrive at the spot where we can actually see the central impact zone, where the meteorite landed or impacted.
2023 million years ago.
There you can see the Vaal River flowing, where you see the high concentration of the eucalyptus tree, the blue gum trees.
Yeah.
You can see a bit of water there. Now just above that you can see that white grain silo there. Yes. That's Vredefort, the town of Vredefort. Now the impact took place near the town of Vredefort, in fact 23 kilometers southeast of Vredefort. Now just to show you roughly where it is, if you look at the back of Vredefort, you see a couple of trees there on the horizon. You pick that up?
Yep.
Now if you move to the left, to the end of the town, right on the horizon there's a little tree there.
Ah.
You pick that up?
Yeah.
That's roughly the center of the impact. Now 2023 million years of erosion have resulted that this complete ring structure today has been eroded on the southeastern side, that you don't see it anymore.
A liquid molten rock just created this dome that was 20 kilometers high, and these concentric rings, like throwing a stone into milk. You know, it goes bloops, and on the outer rings you get these rings. And we stood on this ring. The other rings are gone, but we stood on this ring. If this hadn't happened, the history of this country would look vastly different. And we got to experience this and see how something that happened 2 billion years ago shaped the history of this country, because all these layers of rock came up, the gold went down, and the puer and the sea and the basalt and the molten stuff, and as a result we could build mines. Nothing would be around if it wasn't for that meteorite.
I made patkos today. I made cow bao buns. So I got the buns, I put them in a steamer, and then I got chicken thighs, which I deboned, soaked in buttermilk with paprika and salt. And then I took the chicken thighs and I dipped it in flour. From the flour, I deep fried it for about 15 minutes to make sure it's cooked through. While that was cooking, I made some pickled red onion. I had some pickled carrots. So I made a lemon mayonnaise. I added some finely chopped garlic, some finely chopped ginger, some salt. I added some lemon juice, and I mixed that into the mayonnaise. Once the chicken was cooked properly and my cow buns were also nice and soft and fluffy, I opened them up. First I put some lettuce, then I put the chicken thigh inside, then I put some of the sweet chili, then I put some of the mayonnaise, and then I put some of the pickled red onion, some of the pickled carrots, and I put a flower for Nik, you know, just to symbolize what he means to me. And I serve this.
Whoa, what have we got here?
Guys, how's it, guys? Talking about holes.
Is it time to graze?
What have we got here?
I've got for us some cow buns today.
Cow bun.
Cow buns, deep fried chicken with pickled carrots, pickled onions, and flowers we picked up.
Man, that's a beautiful sight. Look at that.
Wonderful.
Eh?
Wonderful.
The gaubau. Gaubam. Gauba. Gauba. I feel like he's saving the best for the end here.
Thanks a lot. That looks very nice.
Nasturtiums. Christo, tell us about these interesting rock circles you have here. What's the history?
This is the remains of a Tswana cattle kraal that the Tswanas built. Nobody knows when. It could possibly be as old as 600 years. But the Tswanas were chased out of this area here in 1810 by Masilikatsi, who came into this area.
We sat there in an ancient Tswana kraal.
Are you enjoying the bun?
Very nice.
Very nice. Ever had anything like it?
No.
I'd like to say thank you. Yalibucha.
Pierre took us to a place where we would river raft. We drove there really slowly at 50 km per hour. It was a very cool drive, wind in our hair, wind in Pierre's hair.
Pierre dropped us on the banks of the Vaal, the rivier, where we were met by Charles and Brian, aka Brighton.
Cheers! Yeah.
And they loaded us onto the back of the cruiser, and we headed off with the crocs. And no crocs in this part of the river, but the inflatable rafts. Went down there. I haven't been river rafting for a long time, since I had to carry the portable toilet on the Orange River.
No, really, I can't swim. Thankfully, there were life jackets. And we got a safety instructor there, Brian.
So if you fell out of your boat, the first thing that we like you guys to do is to look professional.
So we paddled in there after the instructions, and then we got to the rapids.
We went straight into the Big Daddy Rapid.
And as you come in there, I was in the front, and I thought to myself, why did I agree to do this? Water came up into my face, into the boat. I started screaming like a little girl again.
There was a lot of screaming. We haven't had that much screaming on the show since we went spinning.
And I could hear Nik laughing in the background.
It was fun. We nearly capsized a couple of times.
You feel like you're going to fall over, but you don't fall over, and the boat doesn't capsize, and boom, it's over.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Big Daddy! Took Big Daddy down! It's awesome. I think I would want to do it again. And we got out and they gave us towels and it was beautiful, and I felt like, wow, South Africa is beautiful, especially Parys and the Vaal River.
But we made it. We made it dry.
What a location. You know, it felt like I was in a movie, but I'm in a TV show only. It was beautiful. There were rocks everywhere, rocks created by lava. There were potholes, and there were these guys threatening to bribe for us. It looked beautiful. It was picturesque being out there. Turns out that the guys who took us on the riverboat, they were also hosting the braai. Sam was in charge of the braai. He's the braai man, this guy. It's like, that was awesome, eh? Thank God I got all my clothes back on again. Water's cold.
Welcome, guys. Happy you guys are nice and warm. How's the rafting? Did you enjoy it?
You almost killed me, but I'm fine.
On this side, we've got Whitey and Ilse. How's it, Whitey? Hello,
Hi,
Ilse.
hi, Whitey.
Hi.
Hi, hi, hi.
Hi, Ilse.
Nice to meet you.
It is
Welcome.
nice meeting you, Ilse. Sam, you look professional, eh? You look like you know what you're doing there, brother.
Thank you so much.
Turn that chop over. Show us what you're capable of.
And there we go. We've got Lucas.
Lucas, my brother. Maybe we just run through the menu, right?
Yeah, what's
Tell
on
us
the
what
menu,
you got. What you got. So he showed us that he had lamb chops. I was very excited for a lamb chop. And then he had sheeptail. I've never seen a sheeptail on a braai. So this was a fat sheep.
That's one of the fattiest ones that I'm having.
Is that a special marinade?
That's a
Can I
special
dip a
marinade.
finger in there?
Feel at home. Feel at home.
Where are your tortoises?
Skilpike is a ground liver wrapped with some fat.
Skilpie cheese, I have a bad memory of those from my youth. So I was thinking lamb chops. I'll go with the lamb chops. Charles is like Brad Pitt with a beard and without 7 Vietnamese children. He's a lovely guy.
And then, whose idea was it to grab a sheep, take its tail off, and braai it?
I wasn't sure about eating sheep's tail, but I figured, you know, I've eaten most of the sheep. We've actually been through the various anatomy of the sheep during the course of the season.
We've had heads.
Yeah, we've had the heads.
We've had the
smileys.
The tail.
And we're ending on the tail.
Yeah.
And I think what made it was the company, actually. You know, that's at the end of the day, you want great company.
I got the impression that life here is chilled and people are friendly, they love fishing. We went to a fishing shop, we met a fisherman.
A springbok fisherman.
A springbok fisherman.
Rudy.
Yeah,
Rudy.
and we met the oom with the
self-striking fishing rod. With a clockie that lays when he catches a fish.
Right, you're going to have to explain.
Lucas. His name is also Lucas.
His name is Lucas.
And he's got a similar sized book, but he's a bit lighter.
And he was wearing shorts.
And when the fish bite, it goes ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah. I did a dark rum mojito, so I added half a bottle of rum into a jug. I added about 1/3 of a cup of sugar. I added a handful of mint, and I added some ice, and I stirred the rum mixture vigorously to dissolve as much of the sugar as possible. I then squeezed in a few limes. I then squeezed in a few lemons. I also added orange-flavored syrup, and I stirred it some more. Added more ice, added some soda water, because you don't normally get a dark rum mojito. And I stirred this up and added some grapefruit on the top with some mint to garnish the beautiful drink.
All right, guys, before we have sheep tails, we have cocktails.
Nick, and I'll never forget about you, old chum. Cheers.
To the crater, to the meteorite.
Time to...
Let's gun it.
Thank you, it's my grandmother's recipe.
All right, so we've got a surprise here.
Nick! What? You gotta come here, dude. We've got popballen.
Snoekeballen, tennisballen, popballen as jy wil.
Very interesting though was the popballen. I think they took that from the Hezron Louw song. And we got the lamb here. Very nice. I feel like I'm gaining weight just eating this right now. I don't think sheep tails should be braaied. That is my honest opinion. There's a reason why they cut the sheep tail off. And it's not to braai them. Sam has amazing braaiing skills, eh?
Yep.
He uses the same sauce for everything.
All the meat is great.
So I couldn't tell the difference between the skulpykie and the lamb chop because they had the same sauce on. But it was very nice. It shows unity. That was a South African braai. We should all be painted with the same brush. Those papalletjies were amazing. They were tasty.
What do you call an Afrikaans tick sitting on a gate?
I have no idea.
Hectic. Guys, to express our appreciation from the SABC3 and Tyres Braaiers, I'd like to present you with this. It's like a cooler box because that one looks like it's really on its last legs. We hope you will enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And Brighton and the team here at Sanwa. I like Parys in the springtime. I like Parys in the fall. Any bites?
I've stuck it in, but I don't think it's feeling it.